We all want to move forward in life, don't we? But what if I told you that the biggest obstacle standing in your way isn't the world, it's you? Years ago, I found myself confined to a bed, staring at a blank ceiling, wondering why my life felt so stagnant. That's when I realized, until I stopped doing this one specific thing, no amount of effort was ever going to change my reality. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you promised yourself that this year would be different? How many times have you said, I will start tomorrow, I will change next week, or I just need the right opportunity? Yet weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and somehow you find yourself standing in the same place, carrying the same excuses, fighting the same battles, and dreaming the same dreams. Growth is a beautiful thing. It transforms ordinary people into extraordinary individuals. It turns pain into strength, failure into wisdom, and setbacks into stepping stones. But growth demands something from you. It demands that you let go of the habits, thoughts, and behaviors that keep you trapped in a smaller version of yourself. The truth is, most people want success, but very few are willing to stop doing the things that prevent success. They want a better future while holding on to the habits that created their current reality. They want change without sacrifice. They want growth without discomfort. Stop waiting for the perfect time. How many dreams have been buried under the words, I will start tomorrow? How many opportunities have slipped away because you convinced yourself that you needed better circumstances, more confidence, more money, more knowledge, or more certainty before taking the first step? The truth is that perfection is one of the most beautiful lies ever created. It wears the mask of preparation, but behind that mask is fear. The perfect time never arrives because life was never designed to be perfect. There will always be challenges, distractions, responsibilities, and unexpected storms. If growth depended on perfect conditions, nobody would ever grow. Every person who has achieved something meaningful began their journey while carrying doubts, fears, and unanswered questions. They did not wait for the road to become clear. They started walking and discovered the path as they moved forward. The dangerous thing about waiting is that it feels productive. You tell yourself that you are planning, preparing, and getting ready. Meanwhile, days quietly turn into months, and months quietly turn into years. The dream remains exactly where it was while your belief in yourself slowly fades. Every day you postpone action, you unintentionally teach yourself that your goals are not important. You begin to normalize delay. You become comfortable with postponement. What once felt like a temporary pause slowly becomes a permanent lifestyle. Growth cannot survive in a life controlled by hesitation because growth demands movement, and movement demands courage long before confidence arrives. Look at nature for a moment. A seed does not wait for perfect weather before it begins to grow. It pushes through darkness, pressure, and uncertainty. It develops roots where nobody can see them. It faces storms before it becomes strong enough to provide shade. Human growth works the same way. The strongest version of you is not waiting at the finish line. It is being built through the struggles you experience while moving toward it. Every step you take teaches you something that planning alone never could. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every challenge becomes a teacher. Every setback becomes proof that you are participating in your own transformation rather than simply dreaming about it. Imagine the difference your life could have if you replaced waiting with action. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what if this is the opportunity that changes everything? Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you can do with what you already have. Growth begins when you stop negotiating with your fears and start listening to your potential. Your future is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to begin. It is asking you to trust yourself enough to take one step, then another, then another. Even when the destination remains invisible, stop seeking approval from everyone. One of the heaviest burdens a person can carry is the need to be accepted by everyone. It is exhausting to constantly adjust your personality, your dreams, your voice, and your ambitions to fit into spaces that were never designed for you. Many people spend years living according to expectations that do not belong to them. They choose careers to impress others, hide their talents to avoid criticism, and silence their opinions because they fear rejection. The tragedy is not that people judge you. The tragedy is that you begin judging yourself through their eyes. The moment you allow other people's opinions to define your worth, you hand them control over your happiness and your growth. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that is perfectly fine. People see life through the lens of their own experiences. Someone who has never chased a dream may not understand your ambition. Someone who has accepted limitations may not understand your determination. Someone who fears change may criticize your growth. Their inability to understand your vision does not make your vision less valuable. You do not need universal approval to pursue a meaningful life. The people who changed the world were often doubted before they were celebrated. They were questioned before they were respected. They were misunderstood before they were admired. Seeking approval creates an invisible prison. You become afraid to make decisions without consulting others. You hesitate before expressing your thoughts. You second-guess your instincts. Over time, your authentic self begins to disappear beneath layers of performance. You become skilled at pleasing everyone except yourself. Yet no amount of external validation can fill the emptiness that comes from abandoning your true identity. Real confidence is not built when people applaud you. Real confidence is built when you remain loyal to yourself even when applause is absent. There comes a moment in every growth journey when you must decide whose voice matters most. Will it be the voices of doubt surrounding you or the voice of possibility within you? The strongest people are not those who never face criticism. They are the ones who continue moving forward despite it. Growth accelerates when you stop asking for permission to become who you were meant to be. Your purpose does not require unanimous approval. Your dreams do not need a public vote. Your future belongs to the version of you that chooses authenticity over acceptance. Stop comparing your journey to others. Comparison is a silent thief that enters your life unnoticed and slowly steals everything valuable. It steals gratitude by making you focus on what you lack instead of what you have. It steals confidence by convincing you that someone else's success diminishes your own potential. It steals peace by forcing you into competitions you never agreed to participate in. In a world where people constantly display their victories, achievements, and highlights, it becomes easy to forget that every visible success hides years of invisible struggle. What you often compare yourself to is not someone's complete story. It is only the chapter they chose to show you. Every person is walking a different path. Some people bloom early, others bloom later. Some face obstacles you cannot see. Others receive opportunities you never had. Life is not a race with identical starting points. Yet comparison tricks you into believing that everyone should reach success at the same time. You begin questioning your worth because someone else achieved something faster. You overlook your own progress because you are too busy measuring it against another person's timeline. The result is frustration, self-doubt, and unnecessary suffering. Think about how much energy comparison consumes. Imagine if all the energy spent worrying about someone else's progress was redirected toward improving your own life. Imagine if every moment of jealousy became a moment of learning. Imagine if every feeling of inadequacy became motivation for growth. Your journey deserves your full attention. The moment you stop watching everyone else, you gain the ability to see your own path clearly. You begin noticing how far you have already come. You begin appreciating the strength you have developed through challenges. You begin understanding that your story has value independent of anyone else's achievements. Growth becomes powerful when your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Instead of asking why someone else is ahead, ask how you can become better today. Celebrate other people's victories without allowing them to diminish your own. Learn from their success rather than feeling threatened by it. The purpose of life is not to become a copy of someone else. The purpose of life is to become the fullest expression of yourself. The moment you stop comparing, you create space for confidence, gratitude, and genuine self-improvement. Stop making excuses for your potential. Excuses often sound reasonable, they sound intelligent, they sound convincing, they provide temporary comfort because they protect us from confronting difficult truths. Yet every excuse comes with a hidden cost. It delays progress, it weakens accountability, it slowly convinces you that your circumstances are more powerful than your choices. The longer excuses remain in your life, the smaller your belief in yourself becomes. You begin seeing obstacles everywhere and opportunities nowhere. Instead of focusing on solutions, you become an expert at explaining why success is impossible. The truth is that every person faces challenges. Some face financial struggles, some battle self-doubt, some carry emotional wounds, some grow up with fewer opportunities. Pain and difficulty are part of the human experience. However, growth begins when you stop using those difficulties as permanent definitions of your future. Your circumstances may influence your starting point, but they do not have to determine your destination. The strongest individuals are not those with perfect lives. They are the ones who choose responsibility even when life feels unfair. Responsibility is powerful because it returns control to your hands. The moment you stop blaming the world, you regain the ability to shape your future. You may not control every situation, but you control your response. You control your effort. You control your attitude. You control whether you learn from adversity or surrender to it. Excuses make you feel powerless. Responsibility reminds you that there is always something you can do, no matter how small that action may seem. Imagine waking up every day with a mindset focused on solutions rather than limitations. Imagine approaching problems with curiosity instead of defeat. Imagine viewing challenges as opportunities to become stronger rather than evidence that you should quit. This shift changes everything. Growth does not require perfect conditions. It requires ownership. The moment you stop explaining why you cannot and start exploring how you can, you unlock possibilities that excuses kept hidden from you. Stop fearing failure. Fear of failure has stopped more dreams than failure itself ever could. It convinces people to stay in situations that no longer serve them. It persuades them to remain silent when they have something important to say. It keeps them standing at the edge of opportunity while life passes by. The painful irony is that many people never discover what they are capable of because they are too busy protecting themselves from the possibility of making mistakes. They mistake safety for growth and comfort for fulfillment. In doing so, they unknowingly sacrifice extraordinary possibilities for ordinary certainty. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every achievement is built upon lessons learned through setbacks, disappointments, and mistakes. Behind every confident person is a history of moments when they doubted themselves. Behind every accomplishment is a collection of failures that taught valuable lessons. The difference between those who grow and those who remain stuck is not talent or luck. The difference is their relationship with failure. One group sees failure as proof they should stop. The other sees failure as information that helps them improve. When you stop fearing failure, you begin taking risks that expand your life. You start conversations that could open doors. You pursue opportunities that once intimidated you. You challenge limitations that previously controlled your decisions. Growth exists outside the boundaries of comfort. Every meaningful transformation requires you to step into uncertainty. It requires faith before evidence. It requires effort before guarantees. It requires courage before results. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side of actions that currently make you uncomfortable. Imagine looking back on your life years from now. Which pain would be heavier? The pain of failing while pursuing your dreams, or the pain of never trying at all? Failure leaves lessons. Regret leaves questions. Failure teaches resilience, wisdom, humility, and strength. Regret simply reminds you of opportunities that were never pursued. Growth becomes unstoppable when you stop treating failure as an enemy and start recognizing it as one of life's most valuable teachers. In the end, if you truly want to grow, Stop waiting. Stop seeking approval. Stop comparing your journey. Stop making excuses. And stop fearing failure. The life you dream about is not waiting for a more perfect version of you. It is waiting for the courageous version of you who decides to act today. Growth is not a destination you suddenly arrive at. It is a daily decision to choose progress over comfort, courage over fear, responsibility over excuses, and self-belief over self-doubt. Every challenge you face is shaping you, every setback is teaching you, and every step forward is proving that you are capable of far more than you once believed. The moment you let go of the habits that keep you small, you create space for the person you were always meant to become. And that is where your transformation truly begins.